So a few weeks ago, we were blessed with a brand new Gambit series. This one being once again produced and made by Chris Claremont, and we are going back into the past after Gambit brought Storm back to the X-Men and before he joined, and that series currently being Gambit Wanted. Now, I've been anticipating this series for a good several months, if you guys cannot tell by, the whole theme of this YouTube channel. And I think it'd only be natural for me to just kind of go over and share this whole series. And even though we are number one, you can kind of tell I have a bulky pile here. That is because we have not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 different covers, at least just in my personal collection. I believe there might be 2 or 3 more variants out there. The foil variant comes to mind. I think the 1 in 50 comes to mind as well. But these were the ones I was able to get my hands off for now. And I gotta be so honest, this one is definitely my favorite, but this one is a quick number 2. And it was so good, I had to get it twice, even though technically it's not the same. But with this series, I did want to go over, kind of review the first issue, and maybe start a whole series going over this month to month. Of course, it's not going to be a weekly series, considering we're only getting these for once a month, and I think it only has 4 to 5 issues. Normal Gambit stuff. But I am super excited to get in there, read it once again, because I did read it at the very first day it came out, but I have not touched it since, and see exactly what I think of this baby. So if you feel like joining me, sit down and let's read this bad boy together. And it is time to open it up. I switched between my 2 locations. I got some of them from Multiverse, which is my main comic shop, and then 1 or 2 of them, the harder ones to get, I was able to grab from another comic shop next to my work, which they are awesome. I plan to go there in a few days to grab the Magic Marvel token cover because she's my main. I will say she's my main. I am no better than any other man. But we're done talking about magic. Let's get into Gambit Wanted and give it a read. So I do like how they're kind of setting everything up from the last time we saw Gambit. Of course, we've been seeing him for the last little while, 2 years for sure in Uncanny X-Men. However, that last Chris Claremont issues from 2022 had Row in it, and they had their own story going in, but it looks like we are now going through. We have met the X-Men, and I am excited to continue this once again. After Wolverine and Gambit, Daredevil might be a very close 3rd, or at least in the running for the top 5. So the fact that we're having a Daredevil villain and Bullseye show up, that is what I'm mainly excited for. I know that Gambit can definitely go one-on-one with Bullseye, but I feel like out of all the basic kind of normal humans, Bullseye might be the how even know how to explain it, probably the best adversary for him. Because Gambit, he's awesome. I love me Gambit, but he ain't crazy. He ain't fighting the Hulk and beating the Hulk or anything like that. But Bullseye is a nice piece for him to actually go against. I like it, and I'm super excited to see what goes on more. Out of all of that, Bullseye and Gambit fighting, after Bullseye gets his ass beat, Gambit leaves and makes sure to grab the jacket that he wrapped him in. Okay, all right, I get that. That's nice. That is hilarious. The fact that he went, all right, I might as well grab it. And then the first time I saw this, actually, I thought it was a cigar in his mouth. I was like, okay, and then smoking right after. Did not realize he was going to go back in there for him. And oh my gosh, when I also first saw that little picture of Bullseye unconscious, that is a crazy image. Another crazy image. What? This is just a whole bunch of either creepy or just hilarious imagery in this comic. Not too much has happened quite yet. He of course goes back during Mardi Gras. He helps his little sister, goes through all of that, and of course Bullseye attacks. I am excited to see what kind of leads in with that, and here is another terrifying image of Bullseye. That's insane. And of course, right after that, we get some previews for the next X-Men number 33, which is already out. If you guys don't know, I think actually number 34 is coming out pretty soon. And then we have Gambit number 2, and it looks like he is going to be fighting a little bit more than just Bullseye in this one. And that wasn't too bad of a read. It, of course, is not going to be groundbreaking. I'm going to be honest. How much I love Gambit, he is awesome. He is not a groundbreaking character. What he does in a solo series that takes place years before him actually joining the X-Men, or right before he joins the X-Men, but years from where we previously are and currently are, I just think it's a pretty okay issue for the most part. I'm not going to be somebody that's like, oh, it's Gambit, it is perfect, I love it. I do that sometimes. I think I did that for the first ever series that he was in, but honestly, that was just a really good series in my opinion, and I will stick by that. The art also does a lot, and the art does a lot for here too. This is some beautiful art. I love the coloration they picked on him. Very, very comic color-like. Whenever they do the blues and the pinks, I don't know whether or not I prefer that. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of prefer like a bright pink with like silver or black accents. The Marvel Select figure is kind of what I think of personally. However, I am okay with the blue and pink. I'm not against it. It's just not my favorite, but I do think that this issue was pretty decent in my opinion. I'm going to have to see how the story keeps on going through. I know we're going to have this, and then we're going to have Gambit gone next month, I think, actually. So that's going to be an awesome issue to go through as well. I was able to get some of, I think, Age of Apocalypse Omega, or something like that, something of Apocalypse Omega, and oh, Maverick's moving around. But I do think that this series was pretty decent. Not too much is going to go on in the first issue. It's not going to be groundbreaking, like I said, but still a pretty decent issue. And if you don't end up getting it for the art or the variant covers, or just even the A cover is pretty on par with some of the better Gambit ones, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't get it then. But I do highly recommend at least getting this to try it out, see if you personally like it. I would give it maybe I'm gonna say 3.5 out of 5 stars for this one. Not a lot happened, like I said, but you know what, it's got room to improve, and I am excited to see where it goes later this month. But that's going to be it, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. Like I said, whenever they come out with the second issue, we will do another reading, and I will probably read that on camera for the first time instead of this time, since I wasn't really doing any videos too often with them. So I feel like that's probably going to be the next best bet. Getting it, reading it, and then reviewing it at that same moment, just so you can get my full reaction based off from the start. You won't just see my second reaction to it, because I knew what was going on in the comic. I already knew kind of what was going on. I've read it a few weeks ago, but it was still pretty fun to get another fresh read on it. I like it. Like I said, it is a pretty decent comic book, so I am excited to continue. I hope you guys either start or continue for next month's issue. And remember, Gambit Gone is coming out next month as well, so we are going to be fed for the next few months. And of course we got the Avengers movie with Channing Tatum as Gambit, so we are we're gonna be full of Gambit for the rest of the year. But that's gonna be it for me, guys. Like I said, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.